Mackey Motors in Lake City is the place to find new and certified used vehicles, along with a knowledgeable and helpful sales staff. Find new roads at Mackey Motors in Lake City.
The Kuemper Boys 4x800 team joins us here today on our interview. We start here today with Koby Lampman. Koby had some really good teams here today at the Hawkeye 10 conference. Walk me through the race here today. How did your 800 do?
Well, coming in, there's Hawkeye 10 conference, pretty tough competition, and we just want to come out here and not get last, hopefully, but we came out and ran pretty good. I thought my 800 was pretty solid.
I was going to say, watching you run that 800, obviously the top three was a little hard to catch up to them, but you were racing there a lot of the time with Creston and Denison. So kind of walk me through, what was the motivation to kind of stay in that 3rd to 6th range?
Yeah, well, the first three, they kind of took off.
Yeah.
So I wasn't catching them. So I just kind of want to stay in the middle, stay behind at least one kid going through the wind, and then, just get a good sprint down the last 100 stretch,
How do you feel your pace was here today?
Well, my first lap was kind of slow, but I kind of stayed with it, kept the same pace, and got pretty decent time.
Sure, and obviously these are all open handoffs, so those are pretty easy in and of itself. You guys didn't disqualify here today, but talk to me. In that last 200 of that race, you looked like you kind of kicked it into gear. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So how did it kind of feel kicking it into gear there? What kind of was motivating you?
Well, it felt pretty good. And there's, you always just kind of want to get a good stretch on the last 100, just so you can put your teammate in a good spot to finish. So, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Kind of first race of the day here for today for you, or?
Yeah.
What else you got coming up?
I have the Open 4 and the 4x4.
There we go. Good luck in those, and we'll hopefully catch up with you later.
Thank you.
Grant Nielsen, then we go on to the second leg of this race. Grant, like you said, you were kind of racing there with Creston and with Denison there. What was kind of your pacing in this race for your 800?
I was just going at my normal pace. I was trying to get past my PR, but I got right at it, which is about 2:19. That first lap, I was going right at about 66 seconds. I thought that was pretty good, but then the second lap, you could really start to feel tired. So you just know you got to keep going, and I was trying to keep up with Denison and Creston. And then when I got to that 200, I tried to kick it in a little bit. Maybe I could pass or catch up to one of them. And when I tried kicking in, my legs got really tired, kind of like Max Myers in Lake City when he stumbled and fell at 400 hurdle. So I just knew I couldn't go at full pace, otherwise I would fall. And I can't let my teammates down. So
sure. Yeah, that last 200 there for you really kicked it into gear. You gave your team, I believe you got back into 5th place with that last effort. Has that kind of been the goal for you, that last 200, kind of pushing it all out, or what's kind of been that pacing for you in that last lap?
Well, I've always been told that the last 200, 300 meters, you're supposed to give it all you got and try to pass people and just improve. So that's always been my motivation, and I always want to make sure I'm there for my teammates and I'm getting us in a good position to finish the race. So,
yeah, we got qualifying races here next Thursday. How are you feeling about those?
I'm looking forward to it because it's my senior year, but it also makes me kind of nervous because there's a lot of good teams there, so you got to stay positive and do your best when you go to those races. So
yeah. Well, obviously you'll do your best there here this next Thursday. But hey, congrats on a good finish here today, and hopefully good luck in the rest of your races, I guess.
Thank you.
Patrick Kensel then joins us here today. Patrick, third part of this race. Again, you were staying really close to that Denison and Creston group there. How did your leg of the race kind of feel?
It felt good. First lap was around 66, something like that. Not too bad. Just staying with them, try to keep them in the same pace as usual, and then also get a good start for his too in that second lap then.
Yeah, kind of walk me through your part of the race. That first lap and that second lap, what was kind of your best one in your opinion?
I'd say probably that first one because I stayed with him more, and then that second one was a little more challenging because he's tired and everything, but I'd say that first one, yeah.
Right, that last kind of 300 to 200 really motivates you to kind of keep pushing through, and it looks like you pushed really hard in that last 200. So walk me through kind of your thoughts on that last 200. Do you feel like you got to push it a little bit more, or do you think you were doing really good there?
I think I did all right. I think I could have gone a little bit faster, but in the end, did get a PR in the end. So not much more you can ask for.
I was going to say, that's something to celebrate, a PR, especially before qualifying meets happen here this next week. What other events are you here in today?
I got 800 open, and that's it right there.
Yeah, well, hey, good luck in that one, and we'll hopefully catch up with you at qualifying meets.
Yep, thank you.
And then, of course, last leg of this race, Trevor Rae. Trevor, let's talk about that kind of race. Obviously, those front three were zooming here today, but you guys kept really well with that Denison and Creston team. How do you feel your leg of the race went?
I think it went pretty well. Definitely the first lap, they were like 25 meters ahead of me. I knew I was just going to try to keep slowly getting to them. And then about after the first lap, they started to pull away. I kind of figured I wasn't going to catch them, but I still gave it my all that last lap.
I know that first lap, watching kind of the Creston and Denison guys go out, they were really pushing it hard, and you were being a little bit more conservative, staying back. Has that kind of been your approach to this race, kind of staying slow in that first and then kicking it into gear that second lap?
Yeah, usually I always try to get a good pace and try to keep the same for each lap, and then second lap always kick it in at the end to try to even it out a little bit. So I think I did that today. Yeah,
and you kicked it into gear really well in that last 100, really finished strong. Talk to me about kind of the race as a whole and you guys kind of setting PRs here a little bit. Were you on pace with what you have been the rest of the season, that 800, or is there something you want to do better kind of in this race?
I think I did good. This race, I had a pretty fast first lap, so I could definitely feel it in the second lap. My legs were getting pretty tired, but then I just knew I had to give it my all, and I knew we had a chance to get a PR today, and I think we did. So
yeah, well, there we go. It's always something to celebrate. PRs are always something great, and comparing this race from the beginning of the season to now, how much improvement have you guys had?
We've improved a lot. It's been about 30-plus seconds we've improved from the beginning of the season. So that's a plus, and I'm looking forward to next week with – there won't be so much big schools. Sure. So then we'll have a good chance to compete next week.
Yeah, no, there we go. Qualifying meets, of course, next Thursday. So, what else do you have going on here today?
Just 4x4.
4x4. Well, there you go. Good luck in that one, and congratulations on the PR here today.
Thank you.